Good morning, friends. It is an absolutely gorgeous day today. There is just truly nothing quite like spring and fall in the Northeast, I swear. Yes, the winters are rough, but this kind of makes it all worth it. So I am out here on my little patio, and I just thought today would be the perfect day to just put in a little bit of work and make this space just a little bit more magical. We have a little bit of furniture out here. We've got a table. We've got our secondhand furniture. This was hand-me-downs, but then a few pieces that we picked up along the way over the last few years. But I really would love to make this space like just feel a little more cottagecore, like dreamy, like add lots of plants and flowers and just all the good stuff. So I thought we could do that together today. I want to head to one of my absolute favorite garden centers. It's a local one. I know the people who own it and they are the sweetest people and they just do an absolutely incredible job. It's so gorgeous. I can't wait to show you. So I think we're going to start there, and I even have a few DIY ideas. So we might even stop at the thrift store too, because every once in a while you find some really good outdoor stuff at the thrift store. So we'll see what we find. Okay, we have made it back and we got plenty of goodies. Very, very excited. I did stop at the thrift store. You'll probably have seen that. And I got a few things that I was surprised by. So I thought I'd just show you really quick before we get to all the rest of the fun stuff we're gonna do. So I actually found this little urn style. It's actually like a heavy plastic, but I thought that that would be kind of good since it's going to be outside to have it be plastic. That way if it breaks, I'm not heartbroken that it's like a vintage like dish or something like that. And I am going to experiment and try to drill a hole or several holes in the bottom of this so that it has drainage. If I can't do that, I probably won't plant in it, but I think I should be able to. It's a hard plastic, so I think it'll hold up well to drilling, but I guess we'll see. And I also thought it would be really cute to give it a little bit of a makeover. I feel like it looks pretty obviously plastic right now, but I have a few ideas to kind of make it look a little more like elevated and cute. So we're gonna definitely be doing that next. Baskets, I love a good basket, and I would love to do a little bit of planting in a basket. Now, obviously, baskets sitting outside with plants in them, over time, they will break down. This one does have a little bit of a coating on it, and I think I might give it an extra sort of gloss clear coat to kind of help it last a little bit longer. But realistically, is this eventually going to degrade? Probably yes. But I just think it would be such a cute idea to have a few plants in here. And it was $1. And honestly, if you go into any thrift store, there's like 10,000 baskets. So I don't feel that bad. I don't think it's that special of a basket, although I do love it. So I think we're going to plant some plants in here. I think that'll be really cute. I also grabbed this planter from another thrift store, and I don't like the color, if I'm being honest with you. No offense if you do, but it's just not my thing. It just doesn't really fit with my style, but I really love the shape of it. And so I thought we could definitely give this a real quick makeover and just make it a little bit more my style. And yeah, it was a little more expensive than I usually spend. It's $6. But I think it's cute. It's very heavy duty. It has drainage, all of the good stuff. So I just thought, you know what? It'd be a fun little project to do. So that's a good find. I also grabbed this from a different thrift store, a different day than I was thrifting earlier this week. But it's just a little metal, kind of heavy duty tray. And I thought that this was perfect for outdoor decorating, a little metal tray. So that'll be really cute to sit some plants in just for general decor. It's just kind of a nice little touch. So I really like that. Not thrifted, but I did grab this outdoor pillow when I saw it, just because I did used to have outdoor pillows and they have all gotten destroyed over the years, which I think is just par for the course. So I figured at least one pillow would be nice to have. And I thought it was so cute, especially like the little scalloped edges. How cute is that? And lastly, also not thrifted, I grabbed a couple just basic pots because I thought that we could have fun doing some like aged terracotta pots. Now, I do have some pots that I've had for years that are naturally aged, which is fun, but I did need a couple more pots anyway. And I thought we could maybe like have fun just kind of painting these to look a little bit more aged. And of course, we got plenty of plants. I'm very, very excited. They're already making me so happy just looking at them here. Also, disclaimer right now, right up front, let's just be clear. I am by no means an expert. I am at best like maybe an advanced beginner when it comes to outdoor gardening. I do have some knowledge about certain indoor plants, and I have done planting before, but most of the planting I've done has been for photo shoots in the past, which meant that we weren't too concerned with how long that they would live. For me personally, I just always read the tags. I consider how much sunlight my space is getting, how often I can water them, all of that stuff, and just try to pick based off of all of those things what might work best for my space. That's what I did here today. But definitely do not look to me for your expert gardening care needs. But I think we're going to get started by doing some of our little container makeovers. So I started by spraying down my basket with a clear coat just to help protect it a little bit more. For both the planter and my urn, I knew I wanted a more aged patinaed look. And in the past, I found that the best way to get that is to just layer on the paint. Honestly, I just went into my basement and I rounded up all of the leftover spray paints I had in blacks, browns, and greens. And I just kept going over both planters with the various colors until it started to feel right. There really is no science to this, but just to keep going over and over again with light coats and just try to not worry too much about it being perfect. So to start with aging my terracotta pots, I simply mixed some leftover white house paint with quite a bit of water. I wanted it to be really, really runny. And then I'm using just one of these, they're called chip brushes that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're usually literally like $1, sometimes 50 cents. They're very cheap. And I am just very lightly running the paint over. I'm not worrying about whether or not the paint is splotchy or even, or in fact, we want it to be sort of like kind of a mess. That's kind of the point. So I just kind of slap it on there. I like to leave the mixture of the paint kind of like a little bit like not fully mixed perfectly, to be honest with you, because then you can kind of like get some water on your brush and water it down a little bit, and then you can get some spots that are a little bit more thicker paint. And I just like sort of like the variation that it gives to the finish. And then once we have it coated pretty good, I just go back in with a cloth and I just kind of wipe, dab, mixture of sort of like everything, just because once again you want it to have like a really uneven, like aged, naturally aged look. And so sometimes I'm wiping, sometimes I'm dabbing, doing a little bit of both just to get sort of that mix of look. And then even if you accidentally maybe take too much paint off and you want like a little bit more, you can always go back in and add more on top. And honestly, with these terracotta pots, they soak in that paint pretty quickly. So like it already feels pretty dry already. And I literally just wiped it down. I wanted to give my planters a little bit more texture, so I actually just grabbed a little bit of my potting soil and I mixed it with some of this leftover house paint that's in this really lovely muted green color that I just love. You can also use baking soda to add a similar type of a rough texture to some paint. And then I just kind of dabbed at the paint with a rag to just make sure some of those other layers of paint could pop through. For my last layer of paint on my planters, I simply took a rag and I dipped it in some of that watered down white paint, only getting the smallest bit on the rag, and then I just very lightly rubbed it all over the planters. I have a little bit of an idea for my basket planter idea. So I grabbed a piece of scrap fabric. It's like a canvas. I'm going to cut it so it fits in here, and then we'll plant it all in there, and then all the soil should stay with it. So like I said before, I am by no means any sort of an expert, so this might be a terrible idea and these plants might die in a day or two. I'm really hoping not, but I really just want to give this a try and see how it turns out, because I really think that this will just be so cute if it does work.
Oh my child, I know hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. Your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. Didn't seem to do you any good. I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. So hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time.
I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they are chirping this morning. It is the next morning. I wanted to come back out here mainly because I just love sitting on my patio, especially in the morning. It is just so calming and beautiful, and especially now that I have all of my flower friends. So in the past, I've really just kind of brought my inside plants outside during the summer, which they're lovely and I adore them. However, they're all just kind of green. And I just am absolutely loving having some color and some personality with all of these flowers out here surrounding me. I'm also so excited with how my thrifted planters came out. They came out way better than I honestly thought that they would. I think they're so cute. They have such a cute sort of like patina look to them. And I kind of shocked myself with how well they came out. They just feel like they're me. I also forgot to mention, but I also reused my cauldron planter from this past fall. So if you saw my fall decorating video, I made a little cauldron planter just using a plastic cauldron from, the party supply store. And even though I did do it sort of for fall and Halloween, I think it's such a cute planter anyway. And so I filled it with lavender, which honestly just feels so practical magic to me, which let me know what you think, but I always think of Practical Magic as a total summer movie. I feel like the summer vibes are totally there. And there's something about having a big bunch of lavender in a cauldron planter that is making me feel extra practical magic-y. I used up pretty much every single pot that I own, which is a lot. Like I have a lot of pots already and I used up every single one. Besides, I have two super giant ones. But besides those, I used up every single pot that I have. So now I need to get more, I guess. I am well aware that probably some of these guys won't last super, super long. I've always found for myself that when it comes to plants, there's definitely a bit of trial and error that I just have to learn to live with. When it came to inside plants, it took me quite a while and quite a few dead plants to kind of figure out which ones work best for me. And now I feel really confident buying indoor plants and I kind of know what'll work for me and what I can keep alive for years and years and years. Now doing sort of flowers and more outdoor plants, I just have the mindset that it's going to be some trial and error. Some of these guys probably won't make it. I hate to say that. Sorry, guys. But in the end, I think that's just sort of part of learning is being willing to fail a little bit. I definitely try to learn as much as I can, but I always just feel like in the end, you just gotta learn as you go a little bit. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really do deeply appreciate every single view, every single comment. I got quite a few lovely comments on my last video, and I just want to say extra thank you. They just make my day. Please don't think that they don't matter because they really truly bring a smile to my face and you guys are just like the best ever. But I hope you are getting to enjoy this springtime. It truly is like, it's just such a magical time. Hope you are having a lovely day and I will see you next time.